Well, guys, we are going to talk about today the Ffkw Tredecim. This is an interesting knife. It's polarizing. A lot of people don't like the blade shape, but before we talk about it any further, you know what time it is? Turn down the volume because here comes a little bit of music. I have been sick. I'm feeling a lot better. Today is Friday, so you guys have been watching videos. Well, it's Friday for me. For you guys, I guarantee it's well past Friday because I had a bunch of videos that were going up. Speaking of which, I'm going to pick a channel that's up behind me. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Brandon Tenold. He does a lot of video stuff. A lot of fun. His channel is just a blast. So if you get a chance, go check him out. He's pretty funny. He does a lot of B movie reviews. So at any rate, this was a very limited run of knives. This was a collaboration between Arena Knives and Elliot and Chris over at Ffkw Knife Works. This is personally one of my favorite knives that they made. Unfortunately, there was only 25 of them made. But it was one of the ones that they did that really stands out because it's so interesting looking. So we're going to turn this thing around. We're going to take a good close look at it so I can get this back to Tino. This actually was lost for a little bit. I'll tell you that story in a minute when we get it turned around. So let's look at it from above. All right, guys, I'm really happy to be doing a review about this because we didn't know where this knife was. My buddy Matt kept saying, he's like, I'm pretty sure you borrowed it to do a video. And I kept telling him I thought I gave it back. And when I found it, I also found this, which has been missing since we moved in. We'll do a video about this knife. This is the most important knife I own, the first knife I was ever given. So I'm pretty stoked that we were able to find his knife because that meant we found this one, which was the one that was missing from the 5 Knives That Make You Smile video. So let's not waste any real time. Let's go ahead and start and get into this. This is the Ffkw Tredecim, which is Latin for 13, I believe, if I remember correctly. Let me go ahead and grab my calipers real quick so we can do some of this stuff, but we'll get into the specs and everything here in just a second. Guys, let's get these specs out of the way so we can take a good look at it. This is the Tredecim, like I said. This is they have it listed as a modified harpoon, so this is a harpoon-shaped blade. You're looking at a blade length of 3.75 inches, done in Bowler N690. It is in a flat ground blade. Let's go ahead and get the calipers because they have the blade stock thickness listed as 0.176, which is pretty much the blade stock thickness that Elliot used on majority of his knives, 0.175-ish. And those thicknesses will vary depending on, how many times the blade has been refinished. And this has, if this blade got refinished several times, it may be dimensionally different than the rest, but that's just their standard blade stock. Behind the edge thickness on this is 0.0225223-ish. This is one of the first knives that Elliot was doing that was relatively thin compared to some of the other stuff he did with behind the edge. It's ground really thin comparatively. So you're looking at a handle length of 4.5 inches, done in titanium. It is a frame lock, running on bearings with a steel lock bar insert that houses your ceramic rolling detent. Action on these was really, really smooth. The final spec on this is the weight. You're looking at 4.8 ounces. Let's go ahead and pull the scale up here and take a quick look at it we'll do grams first for those of you that don't use Freedom units. 134 grams, not too bad. Ounces, they have it listed as 4.8 ounces, so it's probably going to read close to 5. 4 5/8, that's pretty close on this. And like I said all the time, Nick may have certified it, but your results may vary. Let's go ahead and take a good, overall length on this, guys, 4.125. So not a huge knife. It's also not small, but what makes it so unique is that really interesting blade shape. this thing carries really well. It's comfortable. It has got a nice curvature to it, which is pretty much opposite of this TS305 that I did the other day. If you look at the angle on this knife, it's like they put the edge backwards on this. I'm still trying to see if I just decide if I like this knife. But like all the Ferrum Forge knives, guys, this thing is gorgeous. Cleanly executed green anodizing on that milled area there. All the hardware. Pocket clip carries that through. Nice milled pocket clip, hidden hardware. As you can see, it's a 3-screw hidden hardware. All of your standoffs, everything that's titanium on this has been anodized, and their knives were always so attractive with their in-house builds. So you get a nice contrast with just those little pops of color in it. Action on it off that flipper tab is great. It's so smooth. It definitely feels in hand really lively. This is a good work knife. If it wasn't so attractive, I would say it would be a great knife to carry around on a work site because it's nice and thin. Steel is one that you can touch up. But yeah, even with the attractiveness, I know that Tino uses this. There's a little bit of rust on this blade, but Tino uses this knife as indicated by the chipping and stuff that's on this edge. I'm gonna have to sharpen this before I send it back to him. So these knives were unique. There weren't very many of them. This is one I wish I could have gotten. I've only ever gotten to see 3 of these in person because, like I said, there's only 25 of them out there. There really wasn't much of a demand, but, you know, all the things about it are things I love. I love when knife makers put the cutout for the lock bar down inside, the way the pocket clip puts 0 tension on the lock bar. The lock bar insert, you can't even feel it, even though it's a fairly long lock bar insert with 2 screws in it. You know, the more you separate them, the more stable it's going to be. All of the milling was done really clean. Their logos, and then you get to the finish that's on it. You get, you know, you've got a blade that has got a false hamon, a famone, if you will. Sorry, I'm bumping the camera. In hand, you basically come up and you have a thumb ramp right there. And just like a lot of Elliott's knives, you have a definite forward finger choil. Even with my big, beefy sausage fingers, I can get in that and do some work. And like I said, the fact that he had these ones milled or ground down so thin behind the edge just makes it one of the sliciest knives that he had made to date at that time. Plus, it's just attractive. Now, these were available on Blade HQ, Knife Center, and through Elliott. So these weren't cheap. If I remember right, Elliott said these were about $750-ish. I have seen these go for $400. I've also seen them go for significantly more based on how nicely they've been maintained and stuff like that. But this has always been one of my favorite knives that Elliott ever made. It's really unique, and I think it's a really good showing of the creativity that they had. Like, that blade shape is interesting and unique, but it does not detract from the usefulness of this knife. And to tell you the truth, you can get up in here and you have a spot where you can get a hold of stuff right there. With that, it's like almost like having another ramp where you can do super fine detail work with that knife. So guys, I mean, nothing else I can say about it. It is an awesome knife, and it's another really good showing of some of the in-house stuff that the boys were doing when they did those limited runs. I just wish that they had gotten more attention than they did back in the day. I think that they kind of were overlooked for a long time, and now they're reaping the benefits of that slow smolder has turned into a raging fire when it comes to their business. So guys, that's it. Let's turn this around and do some final thoughts. So like I said, guys, really unique harpoon blade shape on this. And this knife is just so comfortable in hand. It's one of those unique, it's one of those ugly duckling knives that it's ugly, but it's also got its own weird appeal to it. I don't know. You know, it depends on the person. So guys, that's it on this one. If you like the videos, give them a thumbs up. If you don't like them, give them a thumbs down, but please try to tell me why. I can still see it as a creator, even though you guys can't. So if you're going to give the video a thumbs down, that's fine, but just try to tell me why. So I can't change content if you guys don't tell me what you don't like. So if you want to support channels, it's as simple as what I did with Brandon earlier in the video. Just share the channel with people you think would like it. But if you do want to support the channel financially, there's a bunch of different ways you can do it. We'll run through it real quick so this doesn't take too long. I have a membership tab down below that gets you exclusive content, early access to videos, and if you're a premium tier member, it also gets you access to a sharpening tutorial series I did. But check the tier that you're joining because different tiers have different benefits. I have a merch store down below where I have where shirts and stuff like that. It's on Ember Shirt Co. I have set up a coupon code for you on Ember Shirt Co. and my merch store. It's CrazySharp, all one word, capital C, capital S, CrazySharp. And the final way is my affiliate links down below. If you purchase anything once you click in through an affiliate link, doesn't matter whether it's to be clicked on or not, I get credit for it and Amazon pays me and it doesn't cost you anything. So guys, I love you all. Keep it clean in the comments section below. It makes it easier to moderate. If it's your birthday, happy birthday, and I will see you in the next video.